Nerd Boxers, and it is that time again. It is the spooky season. It is the time for pumpkin flavored everything, bonfires with some cider, spiked, and weather. Try to say that multiple times.
We know you can't.
I know I can't either. And that brings us to some exciting things for this year's 31 Days of Halloween. So, as usual, we'll be releasing a movie review for horror movies that may have been forgotten or lost gems over the last several decades every day in the month of October. There will be Halloween memories from the friends and family of the Nerdbox channel. And then, of course, there will be some treats along the way. First, let's talk about the Nerdbox 31 Days of Halloween Challenge, which was submitted by one of our subscribers, Brian Average, who may be writing for us in the upcoming months. And it's a pretty damn good challenge. Can you beat the challenge? Here is what the rules are.
16 movies you have never seen. At least one movie from every decade. At least 5 foreign language films from 3 different countries. Multiple movies in a franchise. And 15 movies that you haven't watched in at least 5 years.
Yes. So it's really easy to go to the old favorites. You can go to Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, some good ghost movies that are in the James Wan universe. But the ones that we're going to talk about have kind of fallen off over the years and have been forgotten. So our movie picks are going to cover 8 decades of films. It includes movies that we haven't seen before. It includes movies that we haven't seen in a long time. A very long time for some.
Mm-hmm.
But first, as you know, or in case you're new here, we are having the quest for 5,000 subscribers. And you can help get us there by ensuring that you are subscribed to the channel. So what you want to do is check to see if that little subscribe button says subscribed. And then, when you're watching a video, don't forget to
like and share.
Yes, every video that we have that comes out that hits 100 likes and 100 comments, we have a bunch of cool swag that we're going to give away to a random winner for that video. And then when we hit 5,000 subscribers, we'll be giving away this box of Strawberries and Scream, signed by Matthew Lillard and David Arquette. But you're not here about the contest, so let's dive into some other stuff. Not only is it the 31 Days of Halloween, it is also Terrifier month. As some of you may know, Terrifier 2 comes out on October 6th
to theaters.
800 of them right now.
Yes.
And Screambox, which kind of sucks, because now I have to sign up for Screambox. Have another
Though
platform.
we did get our tickets to see it in the theater.
Yes. Terrifier month here is going to have a lot of cool things. We're going to have behind the scenes from Terrifier 1, behind the scenes from Terrifier 2 on our brand new show that is running right now, which is
The Pop 5.
The show where we talk about 5 behind the scenes that you may never have
Or probably
heard of, including things about the origins of the ring that you may never heard of. Also, we talk a little poltergeist. Did you know somebody almost died on set? Who was it? If you know, drop it in the comments and then go check out the video. Now, with Terrifier month, we're kicking off the month with a retro rewind of Donna Jean's Coffee House of Horror, and it is the Terrifier 2 cast reunion that we filmed in 2019. And then maybe towards the end of the month, we'll catch back up with several of the cast members from that movie. Now, let's jump into the honorable mentions that we have selected for the 31 Days of Halloween. We try to break down our categories for the month in 7 different ways. The first one being shaky cams. So, Jen, what do you have for shaky cams as an honorable mention?
I have The Bridge Curse.
I never heard of that. Did I fall asleep on it?
You did.
Oh.
Not because it was bad necessarily, he falls asleep on everything?
Not everything.
Okay.
Some of the things.
Just about, like 99% of things. So basically it's just some university students that go to these steps in Japan. I'm not going anywhere in Japan, I'm just saying. Creepy shit there. They go to these steps where this woman supposedly has a curse and she appears and people die. So why you'd want to go there and test it out is beyond me, but check out the movie.
We're going to have to probably check that out.
Again.
But it also sounds like a remake of a Japanese horror film called The Wishing Stairs. So I'll have to compare and see if that is the same. Now for my shaky cam, it is a George A. Romero follow-up to his franchise of the Dead films. And this is Diary of the Dead. Now this one was a change in pace from Night and Dawn and Day and Land, where it's filmed through a camera. And it's pretty damn good. It doesn't get talked about much. And there's a sequel to it too. So you should go check it out if you like zombie movies.
Or George A. Romero.
Yeah. Moving on to slashers.
Probably not really a slasher per se, but it's whatever. It's about a creepy killer. It's 13 cameras. And basically this
It has
couple...
13 cameras.
Well, yeah. So this couple moves into an apartment, and it turns out that their creepy landlord has like 13 cameras in their apartment, and he's watching everything they do. And he's also psychotic. For me, this one's just creepy as hell because people do this shit.
Yeah.
Like they do. They will set up cameras anywhere, and they will watch you, and that's not cool.
Yeah. The guy actually kind of looks like the Minion.
Yeah, I mean, if that, you want to talk about creepy, just the guy himself, the way he looks, he's creepy looking.
For me, it's about a holiday. It's not about the Halloween holiday. It is about April Fool's Day. So that is a hidden gem. And it's not the remake. So just go find the original. And it's a smart slasher film with a very shocking and cool twist ending. Moving on to horror comedies. What do you have?
Christy. This girl, Christy, is in college and she decides to stay on campus instead of going home for the holiday. She doesn't really have anywhere to go, so she stays on campus, and there is a killer that's loose, and there's some, like, you know, dark comedy in there. There's, you know, some comedic lines or whatever, so it wasn't the best movie, but it's not the worst. It's good to just kill some time.
Now, we've talked about my horror comedy a few times in the last few months, and that is Zombie Strippers. No, it is not a soft porn film. It is not a Skinamax film. It is a horror comedy with Robert Englund, and that is why I watched it. I think there are a bunch of zombie stripper type movies, but this is the only one I've ever seen because Robert Englund is in it. And my God, is it funny.
Yes.
The things... Robert Englund is the club owner for the film. So, you know, he's the guy in charge of all the ladies. And he's a germaphobe. So, a germaphobe running a club with strippers and all the little things that happen in the champagne room. So you can imagine how he acts. And he is pretty damn funny in this film.
Yeah, I don't know why a germaphobe would run a strip club. Just saying.
All I know
Seems like an odd choice of profession.
True. All I know is eventually one day, I haven't told you yet, I'm going to get a can of Lysol signed by Robert himself. And you'll understand that if you watch this film.
Sure. Just add it to the collection of a million other things we have signed by Robert.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, let's move on to serial killer movies.
So I have Unfriended. So there is a girl who gets really drunk at a party, and she does some really stupid things that gets filmed, and then it go, of course, you know, this day and age, it goes viral, and she commits suicide. She can't deal with the backlash and the repercussions of what she did, so she kills herself. And then the remaining friends are in this kind of like a group chat, and all of a sudden this strange unknown person shows up, and they believe it to be their dead friend.
Mm-hmm.
And then people start dying.
This has a sequel, doesn't it?
There was Unfriended Dark Web.
Yes, I'd like that one a little bit more.
I did too. It wasn't really a sequel to this. It was just called Unfriended the Dark Web.
Before there was Jigsaw, and before there was the Saw franchise, there was Dee Snider in Strangeland. And this guy was into some kinky things.
That's not surprising. It's Dee Snider.
Yeah, well, it involves hooks that get put in body parts. Strangeland. And is almost like the predecessor before Saw and even The Collector. It's not as violent as those movies. And if you go and watch it today, the quality and the transfer is pretty bad. But it is worth checking out because Dee Snider's character actually... he gets cleansed of being a serial killer and he's put back into society, but then shit goes a little haywire and he goes off on a killing spree again. That brings us to supernatural films.
Things Heard and Seen. This is with Amanda Seyfried, and she's moved with her husband, living in like this huge old house, and she starts to see things that she perceives could be supernatural, but then again she thinks she also could be losing her mind. You have to watch and see which one it is or if it's either. I'm
going with The Possession, starring Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and it features a Divic box. And essentially this is tied to a true story where a person purchases a Divic box which comes along with a very evil entity that invades his home and particularly his daughter. I thought it was really cool. It doesn't get that much play or talk about, but there are some good scenes to it. Some creepy, intense scenes.
I think it's one of very few possession movies that I like, because you know I'm not really like into that sort of thing. So, but I did really like this one, and I really liked Jeffrey Dean Morgan in it, and I liked the daughter in it too. She was really good. So.
Now that brings us to Creature Features, starring this little guy, and that is something that we've both agreed upon, and that is The Gate.
Yes.
So this is, I would have to say, largely a forgotten 80s horror creature movie where these little guys on screen, even today, watching it, are creepy as hell. So you have two boys that discover this rock under a tree and things go to hell, literally.
Yeah, real quick.
Now, it is a lighter rating of this film.
Was it PG-13?
I believe so, but it was the 80s, so.
The movie was still
It is. It's very creepy as hell. For me,
very creepy.
For me, I seen it in the theaters, and halfway through it, the damn film reel burned. I was like, oh my god, the film reel's possessed. I don't want to ever watch this movie again, but I did. And I watched the second one, which isn't as good. No. But this movie will be rougher for little kids. It's great to scare the little kids and then explain to them afterward that it's fake, but there are some scenes that just may be a little bit hard for everybody.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple of scenes, one in particular, that is probably rough for little kids and big kids and adults and everyone in between. But these guys, they're really creepy. And I'm just like, oh my god, there's so many of them. And so this movie still creeps me out even now when I watch it. Yeah,
pair this up with one of our picks from last 31 Days of Halloween, which was Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. Because those have some creepy bastards in it as well.
Yeah, I mean, why not make it a double feature, right? Watch this one, The Gate from the 80s, and then Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, which is superb. And, you might not be sleeping at night.
Nope.
You'll be looking for little creatures.
Yeah, and you may not want to play a vinyl record backwards.
Yeah, don't do that either.
Moving on to our last category, and that is Wrong Place, Wrong Time.
So I have C for me. Basically, there's a blind woman who is house sitting and dog sitting, and things go wrong because people break into the house. a group of organized thugs, basically, that are being like controlled by one person over the phone. And she's blind, right? So she has to rely on an app to see for her. She's definitely in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, this came on recommendation from
Kim Coates.
Yes, and he made a good recommendation.
He did.
Now, if you don't know who Kim Coates is, that is Tate from Sons of Anarchy.
Yes, and he recommended this and then another movie that we still have to check out.
Now, keeping in line with the physically disabled, not intentional, but this is how it rolled out. So you have an actress who is blind in your film. I have an actress that is mute in Mute Witness, and that is Marina Zudina, who is a makeup artist who travels over to Russia to work on a film, and she accidentally witnesses a snuff film being made, and now she is the target. So this is a film that we've talked about a couple of times on some other reviews. So if you like Hush, if you've seen The Watcher, if you've seen See For Me, then you will like this film.
Yeah.
You haven't seen this film.
No. I mean, I've heard of it, but I have not seen it.
It showed up in Fangoria's top 5 for the year that it was released in horror movies. So
1995.
That's what brought me to go and watch it. Because I saw it on the list and it's like, yeah, let me go and check it out. And then I bought it. So that is our...
So we own it?
Yeah, we own it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We own a lot of horror movies. And pretty soon, maybe in October, we'll give you a tour of the Nerd Box Cave, which is the video store, the bar, and the theater room in front of us.
Yeah, it's still a work in progress. It is almost done. We're getting there.
So maybe that'd be one of the little treats. So as we mentioned, it is the 31 Days of Horror. You will get a brand new review every single day on a movie that has already been released that you should check out, that is not widely talked about anymore or has been forgotten. And then there will be the Pop 5s, which are behind the scenes of horror movies that will continue to come out. And then there's Easter egg videos for Terrifier 1, possibly Terrifier 2, and then for Halloween 2018. And then there may be some other surprises along the way. And don't forget to
like, subscribe, and share.
Yes, we appreciate you watching this video and the other content that we have out on our channel. We thank you for supporting us. We thank you for the independent artists and filmmakers that you go and check out when we have videos and interviews about their stuff as well. Have a great Halloween. See ya.
See ya.